Oh, like what I got in my bedroom. Yeah.
Does my mic sound all right?
Okay, we're live. What's up, guys? Hey, everybody. Slightly Slanted Sleuth joined today with Jerry, Runky Monkey, Runkster, and Paula, Rainbow Purifying Fire of Truth.
Truth Phoenix. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You only have to remember
I got Paula. Paula's with
Rainbow Phoenix. Paula.
Rainbow
Yeah.
Phoenix. There you go. My bad. Sorry about that.
I shortened it because too many people were crying. So
that's when you get into a chat room, isn't that funny how when you have a long room name, people, if they're on their mobile devices, they can't do the @ with your name, you know?
Exactly. That was why I did it. They were like, we can't do that when we need to do that. And so I did it for them. I shortened it back up. Oh, Jerry, you losing weight?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got rid of all my sugars and drink pretty much lemon water and sun tea and just distilled water. Unless I boil my water. Seems to be pretty clean.
Yeah, you're looking good. All right.
So how you been, Paula?
Oh, I've been hanging in there.
Bear with me, guys. I gotta get my I was running behind today. But yeah, go ahead. How you hanging in there? Why? What's wrong?
No, well, I'm married. And I'm not married to a like-minded individual. He is the exact opposite as me. And if that's their idea of twin flames or soulmates, they can have it.
At one time,
I am over it.
You liked him at one time, didn't you?
I liked him before I knew him.
Yeah, funny.
Oh, wow.
That's why I always say wait at least 5 years before you marry somebody, because they will show their true colors within the first 2 usually.
True colors shining through.
Yeah, but his only true color is black. Dark. There is no light in him yet. No light has come forth from his darkness as of this date.
He's stuck in the control matrix of the goal, huh?
Yeah, he's stuck in the control matrix. Yes, he is.
That's too bad. Sorry, I'm looking for something real quick.
Oh, it's okay.
Hey, I like the icon for this video. Ring.
Oh yeah, the main cover picture. Yeah.
Yeah. That movie, The Ring.
Yep. That's right, The Ring.
You think we'll be able to jump times like that, like on that movie Jumper?
I think we will be able to once we reach the state of nirvana and ascend, literally ascend. I think we'll be able to go wherever we want, do whatever we want, and it won't matter what timeline it is.
Well, yeah, that's my dub, Jumper.
Oh, yeah.
You know the Metallica song, Dub You Unforgiven.
Yes.
Give you the nickname.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was called Jumper, but I don't use it. Really, I didn't make it up. It's just part of my life. Just like drawing them stars in what's that, before you go to school, before kindergarten, daycare. I was drawing pentagrams and then hands on it, belt on it, horns on it.
Yeah.
Why I remember that stuff is beyond me. You know how my memory is. You know that one night we was reading the Book of Thomas, and we was at part 74. Still remember that number.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning.
It gets that way.
Hello, everyone.
That flood. Hey. Got hit by that flood, Steve.
What flood?
The flood of knowledge.
Well, I got inundated with it a couple different times, and recently, yes, I have gotten, I don't know, pulsated with a buddy of mine called me today and said, "Oh, you got, what do you call it? Zapped. You got zapped, did you?" I'm like, yeah, I got zapped. But yeah, he's stuck in the physical too. But I want to say hi to everybody in chat. Hey, Mr. Menza, Mr. Miles, I can see for miles and miles.
Amen.
Zoo Pet into his house. Who else we got here? We have Thoth, Menza, Jerry, Rainbow Phoenix. I think that's all that's in chat right now. Wow. Zoo Pet. Yep, that's all. A bunch of chatterboxes though.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Free Press 666 is there. Hello. Paul from Newcastle is here. Hi, Paul. Menza, I said hi to you. Blue Star, Mike, what's up, brother? My neighbor from over in Stillwater.
Hey, that was perfect.
Isaac Miller's here too, and Timeless Truths. Hi, guys. I'm glad you could join us.
Them people calling in, that was awesome. That's why I didn't get on there that one night, hoping that other people would come up on here and speak. It was good hearing Mike and Lee.
Oh yeah. That late night. That's the night you were talking about on the phone.
Yeah. I didn't want to seem rude like I wasn't going to come on with you. It was just fact. I didn't want to see other people might want.
Yeah.
But we know
others did, thank God. But you went live, brother, right when I went to bed. So
yeah, it was 1 o'clock in the morning when it was one of those times where I just boom, I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Zupet says enjoying the intercoursing. Here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he did the here.
Yeah, HEERE and then here as in here. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all is one word. Yeah. Here.
Yeah. Is it? When do they say that in court?
Here.
It was an old saying though.
Check this out.
I think so. Well, hang on to it for a minute.
Yeah,
why is it not working as good?
Maybe because my phone's in the way.
Yeah, the other day I can see it, but you got to look really hard, guys. See, it's
because
my
new computer, or half tablet, half computer.
Yeah.
I've got one of those little, I don't know, half tablet, half computer things.
I like your
it seems to be working all right, except for the video's a little off, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't know about video off, but
I mean the pixel rate.
I don't speak that language.
I can't see it.
Pixel rate.
Yeah, the pixel rate.
There it is.
And
I mean, I know.
Tell us our blood type unless we pay $100 or donate blood. What do you mean by that, Mr. Menza? What are you guys talking about out in there? Sorry, go ahead, Paula.
Your parents should have told you your blood type, and if they didn't, they need to be slapped.
Their responsibility. That their blood didn't match. That's why my brother died of leukemia. But our kid is like that. He's got the O negative. She's got the O positive. They got to take that shot when she got pregnant, had a healthy child. So
yeah.
Good.
Zupet brings up word etymology, seeing duality of all words. Now, the ultimate aspect to that in the duality aspect is, a lot of learned people like to say that duality is non-existent. There's only a singularity. Well, kudos to that. I agree with that, but there is a duality. And the duality, ultimate duality of our reality that nobody gets is the aspect of the creation and the Redeemer, or the Lucifer and the Jesus, or the Yaldabaoth, the Savior. These are the polar opposites are found within the same light that is product of our union with God, which we rise above after we become one with our true self. So now, why is it that people, up until recently, I was like, the whole Bible's nonsense, and I threw it all out myself, out of my mind, out of my, because I couldn't understand it. Now, if you start seeing things in a dualistic manner like that, or the polar opposites, but yet of the same thing, then you start to realize what creation's about. What do you guys say to that?
It is a singularity. It's a duality now, but it becomes a singularity. That's how the end is from the beginning. When we all become one, that's when it all becomes one, and there is no more duality. So they're right and they're wrong, because we're in duality now, so that we can bring the end from the beginning together and have just the one.
Well, that great earthquake, and it says there'll never be a time like that again. Just like that, I'm not going to flood the world.
Right. Is it a coincidence that the Earth is heating up from the inside? You know, is it? So what does that mean? The fire in the middle. You know, it's kind of fitting.
The magnet.
Yeah. Fiery furnace. Fire baptism.
Points at.
Could that be the purifier of the Hopi prophecy? Who knows? But you know, I'm not here to be a harbinger of doom or anything like that. I'm not even saying that for that reason. I'm saying that, like Paula said, the alpha and omega aspect of our beginning and end. But I was talking about the whole Lucifer and Jesus are the same thing. You know, there's creation, which is light. And everybody in creation has got to face death. So it's severe.
Yeah, well, they have to face death until they can literally ascend to nirvana, that state of nirvana, which takes you back to the energy you were before you were put into that body. And then you're made whole and you're at home. And yeah, nothing else matters after that.
One of my favorite songs. Well, I like don't dub me Unforgiven. Unforgiven.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I think it's interesting. My nickname, my dub was Jumper.
That is funny. That's quite fitting.
It is. I told him that earlier too. Yeah.
What's underdog? I like that.
I've always been the underdog in this world, and my birth charts all say the same thing. So I'm just kind of being a smartass right now.
Rakatamata, Yawa Nawa. How are you, brother? But you guys remember that when I was on when that Rakatamata incident happened in my life?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty profound. I mean, it was the only time recently since I've had a YouTube channel that I've had. No, there's been one other time, I guess, where I had a dream or an epiphany, and somehow, some way it came to me the next day, and it was out of nowhere, and that's how I met the architect, or Yahweh Noah.
Yeah.
He typed that word into the chat, and I went, "Whoop! Stop! Back up the truck! What the hell is that?" And then
somebody's psychic, yeah.
it sparked. No, it was because the divine was reaching out to me and telling me, you know, my higher self, your higher self was saying, you know, what, there's more to this than what road you're on now. So look here. And right after that is when I met Phil. You know,
our first video that rainbow showed up right there in my field. I could see the end of the rainbow that day.
That's just beautiful. And then you guys met me.
Yes. And you had mentioned earlier about our Nuggets. Where has he been? Is he okay or what?
Oh, there was some kind of financial trouble that he ended up having. Wife lost her job or something. And then they ended up having to move. And now we hardly hear from him, which I miss him. I just want to say I miss talking with him.
What's his other name in there?
Eric.
Eric. Yeah, that's how he does it.
It's our OUR Nuggets, or R, the letter R Nuggets.
Right. And there's another person out there that I haven't spoken with or crossed paths with lately that if she's watching, her name is Lammy Pie, and she was a big part of my journey. I'd sure like it if she would answer my emails or return my phone calls. So, Lammy, you know I love you, so please get back in touch with me, please. But yeah, I miss her, and you know I miss her input into you know, because she was there right at the beginning when I found Danny Wilton's work, and it was like the aha moment of all time, you know.
Oh, Danny Wilton. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
that's what started me on and it's quite fitting that recently that video that I did. What do you guys think about that? About how they're saying Newton was wrong and Einstein's next on the chopping block.
I can say that I agree with that, because the history books are written by the victors, which were the warmongers in the first place. That's why they won. That's why they were able to write all of it down. So if that's the case, and it is, then everything that those two told us was wrong as well. And in case you didn't know, Einstein was insane. You can Google that.
Most critical thinkers are dubbed.
Most really intelligent people are insane, but that's because the things that they know made them crazy.
Paula's microphone is much gooder.
Much gooder?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, much gooder. No chipmunk.
No.
I'm sorry to everyone who's going to miss the chipmunk.
Even Tesla was, you know, yep. He called Einstein a fuzzy-haired crackpot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he said that he was a loon and he was reaching for nonsense when he was saying that space-time curves and all this other nonsense, when it's all just based on dielectricity and magnetism. Well, dielectricity is magnetism, or, you know, product thereof. And it's kind of
magnets and miracles. Yeah.
Magnets and miracles, right? Well, think about it. Every bit of our technology, almost everything has a magnet in it of some sort. Everything. Microwave, magnetron, computers, hard drives.
Yeah.
Is that what we are, the biological hard drive? What if we're like we get swiped by some big monster magnet to go back into the cycle again if we don't achieve what we're supposed to be here to achieve?
Well, that magnet is your own magnet. By your own karma, you will be judged. You will know them by their fruits. If they came back here and got reincarnated again, they haven't had living fruit yet.
What is the mechanism in which we don't remember our past lives, is what I'm saying.
Why don't we remember? Well, okay.
The metal in our blood.
The
irons and whatever, your core, rotten to the core.
It's like the key you put into your car that has the ohm battery in it. You know?
Yeah.
Because we're human.
Hue. What color hue? This is usually yellow. Well, that's why it didn't make sense that bud plant, when the days get shorter, because it's a blue light coming, or red light coming and blue light going. It changes it. You can do that with LED lights, you know, the yellowish or bluish, and change as soon as you change the time, and then put the blue in there to make it bud.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, the rainbow around the sun, remember?
Yeah.
Right, and recently I read a paper about magnetic excursions. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's, you know, it's a precursor or a side event to a magnetic pole flip, but it goes on to explain all of these different events that have happened throughout like 1 million years, 2 million years. But it talks about how our magnetosphere was 5% of what it is today. And today our magnetosphere is like 60% from what it was 120 years ago or 200 years ago or something like that. And that explains why the clouds are so low. That explains the chemtrails. It explains everything there.
Yeah.
So
back to the other thing. I think the human brain can only, you know, carry so much weight, basically. It can only do so much. It's not fully evolved yet. And so we would have to decide via our karma which things we're going to be able to remember when we come back and which things we aren't, because I've seen lots of movies on this, and I know there's truth in movies, and to me it just rings true to my soul. You know, in Stargate, and I can't think of an actual movie, but when too much information is in a tiny little brain, it's too much and it'll kill you. It'll kill you before you can get your message out. It can kill you before you can learn anything. It's just, it make you crazy. I think it's overload. So I think we choose to have certain aspects deleted.
I have to agree with that, because if you remembered all your deaths, what, you know, how productive could you be?
You
Well,
just
that
be a
brings
shell
it
of
to-
a human.
If you married somebody who was my wife and my other, you know, two lives or whatever.
Or, yeah, that's perfect.
What happened?
You'd long for that perfect wife you once had that you was an asshole to when you had her.
Maybe you get them all back. I've been born about 10 times or more. I have 10 wives.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, think about it. If we knew everything when we came here, if we could hold on to our memory without even having to do anything or center ourselves in our center, if we could just do that willy-nilly, like, what would we have around us? We'd have a bunch of corruption. We'd have a bunch of elites holding the keys to everything and driving us around by our noses and our ears. Wow, that's what's going on right now, isn't it?
That's why I was quietly snickering.
Yeah.
I was like, bring it, brother.
I know.
What if Akhenaten was the first one to figure that out, you know, and wanted to live the Luciferian side of our creation and knew how to hold on to his memories?
The discovered ghost, the ghost, the crazy age. When it's not broken ribbon, you know, that's cancer.
The ghost spell, yeah.
Well, that's why I wonder if we can time jump or you know, go to these places like that movie.
Yeah, I think we can.
I do.
Well, we will be able to anyway.
Yeah, I was thrown for a loop because that whole Akhenaten thing. This is the story why I've been on this like a hound dog lately. I went to the History Channel watching. You know, I like to watch some of their stuff until recently, until they start putting out all this ancient alien stuff, which is, you know, just incredibly misleading. To be honest with you,
They're getting better. They're getting better. Trust me. They made my head explode for years, but now they are finally mentioning in the most recent one about the serpent in the garden in the back of your human brain. Yes.
Yeah, but I was what I was talking about was the I went back there and all of a sudden, you know, I was just talking to somebody about Akhenaten, and all of a sudden this video was there about Akhenaten, and the video was about KV55. Anybody look through my past posts on YouTube, you'll see that I got a link there for it. You got to watch that video because you can see you can feel it actually, the direct misleading information that they're putting out through that video to try to convince you that it's not him in that grave. Because that grave,
makes you turn red. You see red.
Yeah, well, no, you just know it's not right. What they're doing is trying to mislead you away from the truth. Because when they first found that tomb, they thought for sure it was Akhenaten. You know, his head was smashed in, half his face was gone, and that's what they did to his statues after he died. You know, they erased him.
Yes.
So they're in that video. They claim that it's not Akhenaten. It's somebody that's 30 years old or whatever, and they throw everything at you to convince you that it's not him.
It was Akhenaten because it was Enoch Anaten. No one else knows this. I don't think it can be Googled. I got this information from higher self, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't know it in my gut. It's Enoch Anaten, and they don't want you to know. So now it's just some 30-year-old corpse of some random guy all of a sudden. They don't make a mistake like that.
Is that why we went to Iraq?
Yes.
They had to get that. Yeah.
Yes.
Very well could be, dude. Very well could be. Yes, because there's a big rush to get over there. Yes. And what if it's because the powers that be are under the thumb of said royal lineage? Islands named after them.
What was his name? Saddam. I mean, we're in sodomy. Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein. He thought he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar.
Yep.
Which he very well could have been.
He built a ziggurat in the exact replica of Nebuchadnezzar's palace or ziggurat.
Yeah.
Well, that was Nimrod's tomb, right?
No, I think it was Nebuchadnezzar that he thought he was reincarnated as. Maybe he's one and the same. I'm not sure.
Yeah, just different dub.
Right.
Yeah.
Circle in a square washing machine. Welcome to the machine. Paul from Newcastle gets it. Yes. Yes. That's exactly it. And if you, for the layman to understand it, we are here in the finite, I think, to find our true self, that which is ineffable, which is forever, which is our one true self. We're all energy of that one true self.
If you're willing to listen to that voice, you know,
The voice in your head.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you're supposed to do this. If you're listening.
Yeah.
Well, I think about 99.9% watching this is that way. Same family.
I got a good example of paying attention. I was in the car leaving the pantry with my husband, who was driving the other day, Tuesday, in fact. And I could see an accident getting ready to happen. I knew he was going to pull out in front of this car that was going 30, 40 miles an hour. And I just swung my arm out and I just screamed, no. And thank God they saw me do that and slammed on their brakes and did not T-bone his ass.
Wow.
I think my energy stopped that because, and I was able to stop it because I was aware that it was about to happen. Like in The Matrix.
Nice.
In the movie The Matrix, yeah. Where eventually Neo sees the bullets coming. He knows they're going to shoot him. And he says, like I did yesterday, no. And it didn't happen. Yeah.
Nice. On that note, G-Ant is here to even the playing ground. And is there a link or something to your female guest Rainbow's channel or website?
Oh, I'll get that for you.
She'll put it up there for you. And 1111 code brings up another good word play. Individual. In, divide, dual. Very good. Why is divine so close to divide?
Indivisible. Well, if a house is divided, the house falls. A house divided cannot stand.
But it can sure can muck up the works or convolute.
Yes. Yes.
Very good. And P Turtle, I like turtles. Hi, P Turtle. I like turtles. Is here. Says there's a guy in Wales who thinks he's King Arthur. Boom, boom.
And in my Bible, it's a turtle dove.
Speaking of songs earlier, yeah, I like that. Yeah. But songs recently, the Lion King song, Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Ain't no passing craze.
Well, you know what?
No worries.
Yes.
I was like, wow, I didn't even realize the lyrics were that. I'm like, what the hell?
Yes. So when do you reach Hakuna Matata? After you've reached nirvana.
Right. And nirvana is the same as pleroma, heaven. Yes.
Yep.
Paradise.
Paradise, Eden.
Ascension, another word played by 1111, who's on it today.
Yeah.
Ascension, a center sun. Very good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Very good.
That's why I love
Well,
these.
also Sion or Zion is in the Bible as well. And I guess that's another word you could use for heaven. So he was right even when he didn't know it.
What did Philadelphia mean? That might be the true church.
Oh, you want me to look up Philadelphia again?
Philadelphia.
I think it meant, Philadelphia means land of God.
Philo in Delphi.
The land of God, yes. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Philo in Delphi is?
You talking about Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philo in Delphi.
Yes.
7 churches.
Yes.
Thoth says, Miles says, is heaven only for those who know with no knowledge of good and evil, morals, and psychopaths? It's actually the opposite, I believe. I hate, scratch that word, I think.
With no knowledge. No. Heaven Heaven's for those who have gained all the knowledge that they are capable
Yeah, it's the
of
opposite.
receiving.
It's the opposite, but
Dread.
who's to say you can't reach it in another path without, because I think that's a Shakti is the knowledge part of it, right?
Yeah.
Stockma or what? I don't know the words. They escape me at this moment, but yeah, I agree with that.
I can't think of it either because I'm reading Crystal's comment here. Heaven is happening right now. Well, not until we reach nirvana. Yes, it's happening now, but we need to get there because we're missing the party.
On earth as it is in heaven. That's your as above, so below.
Yes.
Take every word captive means
Very good, Jerry. That's awesome.
Yes,
Because
we have to live in as close to heaven as we possibly can, staying positive as often as possible.
we'll
Right.
do better and greater things. Right.
And
Well,
then
you're not going to help anybody out if you're running around like Rosie on the Jetsons, going because you lost.
Right, exactly.
Going forward.
If you do that, you're gonna end up like the husband. Jane, stop this crazy thing.
Yeah, I set that up for you.
Yes, I saw that. Yes, because that's how I felt most of my life. Is Jane, stop this crazy thing.
Oh, everything was harder for me. It seemed like at one time, like just to pump up a car tire, you spend 2 hours looking for the nozzle. It's always something crazy going on.
I've had that happen to me recently, actually, and it was just yesterday, actually, when I wrecked my computer. I was ostracized by my wife because I was being an asshole because I wrecked my computer. And, it's just one thing snowballs into the next when you have an attitude. And when you have even when you're trying to hide that attitude, it just boils out of your psyche. And it projects, especially for me. I can't hide anything. You guys all know that. You know what I'm thinking right on my face. I can't lie to you.
But I have to add, because I have to do this every day with my husband, who does nothing but try to continuously tick me off. That is when the test is.
Yes.
When you're about to strangle someone or cuss or break something, that is the test. Will you go ahead and have that fit and break that device and then deal with your wife because you did that? Or are you going to take a deep breath, count to 10, and start over?
Was that atonement? That word really, I'm glad.
That's being in tone with. Yes, with the world, with the way things are. Yes, the computer made you mad. It happens to me all the time.
Well, it wasn't the computer. It was my dumbass act spilling something on it that made me mad.
Or that. Yeah. Okay. Well, you said trash the computer, so I just pictured you throwing it in the floor.
No, I didn't do that. No. No, I spilled something on it, and then I got angry over spilling something on it.
But yeah, and so that's when it's the test is.
And then when my self-loathing boiled over, it affected the rest of my day.
Yes, and I don't know why you would loathe yourself. I love you because I see who you really are and who you're gonna be.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh,
it's true.
Yeah,
Thank you, Paula.
I mean, same with Jerry and Max and everybody in chat there. I mean, I see ahead of time what it's going to be. I even see, how awesome my husband's going to be in some lifetime, 1,000 million years down the road. I just know it's not going to happen in this lifetime.
I just heard that evil, sinister laugh out of you.
Jerry.
Like
Jerry.
Hey, I used to have a CB radio, so when I keyed up, it didn't matter who was around. My microphone would overtalk them.
So you had some good crystals in that bad boy, and you had, I forget what it's called, a stomper. That's why they called you Stomper, because of your CB.
Jumper.
Yeah. Thumper, Stomper, whatever. It's because of your CB.
Whatever she says.
I love you, Paula.
I love you, Jerry. Hey, I grew up around CBs, so I know. That's why they called you that.
Yep. Well, no, I was called Jumper from birth because I always jumped up and down in the playpen.
Well, then they were prophesying.
It could be
Yeah.
See, this computer ain't picking up the light like the other one.
And your mic ain't as loud as Paula's.
It isn't?
I can hear him fine.
I can hear him, but when y'all sometimes talk together, Paula's mic's loud.
I got a good one now, yeah. And I don't know how to turn it down yet, so I apologize. I just got it. I have to.
People think it's easy, get up here and try to talk in amongst and not remember what you're talking about after 50 other words and you've done thought of a million other things.
Yeah.
Brain and overload.
Yeah, guys, I wrecked my computer yesterday, so I'm without. That's why I didn't change the thumbnail or none of that, yesterday. From yesterday, before.
Yeah.
On my live stream thumbnail. Whatever.
Where'd he go? Can you see his light?
I'm right here. It doesn't look the same. It looks goofy.
I had a goofy watch. It went backwards. The 11 was where the 1 was. Ain't shit.
111 or 1111 code says mirror, evil, live, devil, lived. Yes.
Yeah, that's reverse.
Yes.
Crystal says dog, God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Underdog. God. Yes.
Well, what was that thing if you type in dog into Google like 11 times or something, a bunch of times, and it ends up coming back when you hit search, it ends up coming back God?
Wow.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah. I've heard of it before. But, a dog is God. Or, I mean, God is in the dog, but the dog is not God.
That's why we call each other dog. What's up, dog?
Yeah.
Dogma, M God. That's a good one too, 1111.
Or a man that's a whore, they call a dog.
Box us in a cube. Right.
We're going to do fun with words. I love this.
Haha. Fun with words, yes.
Right.
The real fun begins when you start searching the actual meanings of them.
Or that damn sea level.
Hey, Padma. Bye, Mike. I'm glad you could come and join us for a little bit in blue.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, Cayman 830 says they box us in a cube. I'm of the opinion that there is a they that is nefarious, but it's not as much as we would have us think, if you follow me.
Yeah. Yes. It is for your protection, literally. I thought at first that was BS, but no. If everybody, like I said before, if everybody knew everything right now, they would go insane.
But we do know everything. It's just what I know and what you know and what he knows and what he knows and what he knows. It's all split up in a bunch of pieces.
We can't see
compartmentalized knowledge. Yes, that's what the government's about.
Yeah,
and that's how they get away with doing the black budget projects and all that other nonsense. I think.
Yeah.
I'm no politician and I've never been in politics, but somebody says military wear dog tags. Miles said that. Yeah, Miles said military wear dog tags. I say that the military or the soldiers are the soul dyers, and why do we call them soldiers? Well, why do we say good morning? Because we're mourning for the souls that died for that sun,
Well, you bring it.
Well, right. What are you going to do with the hello, though?
Change it to Halo.
Halo.
Yeah, or hello.
We say hello from hell, so it makes perfect sense. It's like hello.
It's like be less, bless.
Yeah.
Believe wrong, no right. Yes, I agree, because in the word belief is lie, right? So
believe is belive. BELIVE. Belive.
Yeah, but I mean the word lies in the middle of it.
Yeah, but
But I know who I trust.
Yeah, I know who I trust, and the Bible says that first you have to believe before you can receive. So if we get rid of the word believe, because lie is in the middle of it, even though believe is the opposite of lie, it is believing in truth.
That's why they got it. The truth will be preached over the whole land. Eventually,
Yes,
they got to start telling the truth.
yes,
I think they
somebody's got to start telling the truth. Yes.
Dee Dee says since she's been young, she has seen a spirit dog in dreams, and it tells her, "I'm a child of God."
Children
Yeah,
of the sun. Children of the sun.
yeah. There you go. The lie in word religion as well. Yes.
Well, what does
Or
religion really mean? I thought it's a way of life, because there is a way of life that's in harmony.
right, but I think I don't want to add small or smoke and mirrors to the whole smoke and mirrors that we're already experiencing. But in the same breath, I talk about this stuff because it's good, and it's to have debate, even with people that don't agree with me. You
Yeah.
know, I'm going to be honest. I don't like it when I'm talking to people that don't agree with me, or they're as forceful as me, but with a different opinion. I don't like it. And I need to get over that, and I know that, so that's why I force it upon myself to do so.
Yes.
Now, a debate is the best source of figuring out, but the same breath, if we keep convoluting things and overcomplicating things,
Yes.
do us
talking about today.
Right. And that's why I'm trying to bring out there that just because lie is in the middle of the word believe is still something that we still need. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because we can't receive until we believe. And I say that it means live. So
well, I don't care what you say. You're out of here. Bye.
Damn it, David. Is that Israel?
Underdog.
I was watching a podcast earlier, and somebody was talking about a certain app that you can communicate on, and they kept bringing it up in chat. And the person that was doing the podcast said, "Moderator, if they do it again, ban them." Just like that.
Wow.
Just like that. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, your true color come shining through.
There's that
Yeah.
That peacock. It's the symbol, it's news channel symbol.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you P Turtle says belief is understanding without knowing, and
I was about to jump on that one myself. Nice nugget.
Pretty good.
Love this.
Yes.
Yeah, free perch. Right.
Them birds, I think what's faster than speed of light is words. The bird is the word. Right now we're
bird is the word. I said a bird. Yep. Or the language of the birds too has come up in my mind a lot lately, and I don't even understand it. But
blue avian fever. Blue avian. There's all this talk at least a year ago about the blue avians, and they were talking about it with oh crap, I can't remember either of their names. But yeah, blue avians, they're an alien race that are allegedly here to help us. And then you just mentioned all of that you just said. And so I was like, oh, blue avian fever, huh?
Yes. Hey, Mr. Michelle Seymour, human beings in a mob. What's a mob to a king? That's a king to a god. What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? Make it out alive. All right. No church in the wild. Nice speech. It's your soapbox. You pimp it. I like that one, Michelle. That was
1111 cool. Code. They say monkey brain to reptilian brain to bird brain, ? Yes.
And they're cockeyed.
It's Kanye is what she said. So that's a Kanye West song?
Probably, yes.
Really? That's a lyrics in a song? For real? Pretty good.
Yeah. Everything's possible till it isn't. Well, everything's possible until we don't believe that it is possible, then it becomes impossible. Point made.
Cockeyed. It's offensive, he says.
That's what I just said.
Nothing wrong with. So somebody's called you cockeyed before, huh, Miles? I needed that. Thank you, bud. That was funny. Everything is possible until it isn't. No, I like that. Yeah, that was good. But yeah.
That's why I said what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you.
You didn't hear me say cockeyed?
No, I didn't.
No.
It must be synchronicity because at the same time, I said that before, cockeyed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is one of those. That is. It's like if anybody's ever watched what's his name, the dude who did Thomas the Train, what was his name? He was a brash comedian. He was a stand-up comedian and he did shows all the time. God, what was his name? George Carlin.
Carlin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how he'd say he'd pull out words like, who makes up these words? Squash, and stuff like that. He had kind of a dry humor, but it was pretty good. So yeah, it's up there with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call him dry humor. He was matter of fact, in your face humor, kind of like me. I liked him.
Right. Kanye is crazy truth, but a genius. That's nice. Yeah, he could be. Very well could be. You know how they say all of these new souls are coming in and being born into certain situations that are going to affect our reality in the future, or they've already started like the generation after ours. So I guess it would be not my kid's generation, but the generation before that. Well, I guess I got 2 generations of kids. Holy cow, I'm old. Well, I got to stop doing these podcasts because every time I do, I realize how old I am.
I'm a grandpa. Are you?
No, not yet.
Well, then you're just a boy.
I sure wish I was, though, because I want a baby around my house.
Yeah.
That's what you asked for.
Right.
Job gets it all back at the end.
What are we talking about? Odds. Trump should ask him to be vice president. Ask who? Oh, Kanye, because he's pimping the "Make America Great Again" hat. Deborah Tucker puts a link up for. Here's a link to No Church in the Wild. Nice.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Click it.
San Jose, the place of Mercury.
The messenger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Delaney Jones, I have multiple vids of Kanye's mother in form Flynn in my house. No lie. Nice. It's never too late. It's never too late.
No, there is a time when everything is too late, and that's when you die. But it's not too late until that day, because we have to accomplish that ascension, that nirvana, while we're still alive.
Well, it's still never too late even after that, because you're going to come back and come back and come back. I remember when reincarnation was enough for my psyche. I don't.
That great earthquake, there'll never be enough like that. So it'll be an end to a cycle. There's going to be
no one.
It's going to be broken.
Some fake person called Joseph Feathers is trying to call me. I'm going to answer it. Hello?
But yeah, the reincarnation cycle, I remember when I first came across the knowledge of that, I was like, wow, that's incredible. That's awesome. You guys remember that? Do you guys ever feel that? Have you ever felt that way before? thought reincarnation's cool and it's enough for me. What about you,
Right.
Jerry?
I never thought too much into it till, well, I thought into it, but till you really brought it up that time, you know, and I was looking through the Bible trying to find where it says, you know, pretty much that you keep coming through.
I'm glad I answered that. That was my friend using his cell phone to call me.
Cool.
Man
So,
of
but
old,
it never really does say it in the Bible, does it, Jerry?
no, it's like men of old renown. That could be, you know, there was another one that it could be in there. Just don't come right out and say it. You know, that's the hard part.
In the book of John, with the verse, I think what is it, 3:4, when he states that you have to be born of the flesh. Flesh is born from flesh, and spirit is born from spirit. So don't be surprised when I say to ye, be born again.
Yes. Yes. Spirit is born of spirit, flesh of flesh. Right there proves my nirvana point. You know, when we were first told to go forth and multiply, we were not in flesh bodies yet. We were supposed to go forth and multiply in the energy form. But instead,
coats of skin, right?
I think we've got that mixed up, Paula. I'm not, you know, I like your perspective there, but I think that it's necessary to live through the physical, the finite, to square the circle, to find our true ineffable self. I think it's a necessary evil, our life-death cycle.
Oh, yes, I agree with that. But I'm also still right. I'm just saying.
No, well, I don't.
To go forth and multiply, then we allegedly fell and were given animal skins to wear. Well, that's our flesh. We are animal.
That's what I was saying.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We were given coats of skin.
Yep.
They make it like they made you know, a bra and pants for them, but it really wasn't. It was really, like Paula, I think
it was their flesh. Yeah.
I would think so. That the naked eye, you know.
Yeah.
In the maybe the walk through the shadow of death statement in the Lord's Prayer is talking about reincarnation in the cycle.
Yes. This is the valley of the shadow of death.
Yes. Though I may walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Because there really is no evil. It's just bad men or bad women doing bad things. You know?
Right. It's just they're just not evolved enough to know better. Yeah.
Google Samsara. I don't want to do it on my computer because I'm afraid of. Well, I'll try it. Samsara. What's that? Somebody just texted me and said I had to look it up, so I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Oh, and the elders, that was the other thing that might be reincarnation, you know, the elders, the ones that's been through this.
Samsara is what you were talking about yesterday, Paula. Reincarnation, right? The cycle.
Oh, let me Google that, because
that's the word in replacement for the cycle. But it's all about Samsara is also internet connected sensors. Wow.
Yes. I need the actual
crazy
link.
Wow, that's crazy.
Indian philosophy.
Yeah, weren't you talking about? Wasn't that in that phrase you talked about nirvana in at the beginning of the video?
Yes.
Wow, that's wicked.
Karma. Yes, she is correct.
The cycle of death and rebirth to which life in the material world is bound. Yes. So that's the cycle of cycles. Yes. And that is that Ezekiel's wheel?
Ezekiel's wheel is more than likely the scripture on can you loose the bands of Orion and all of that jazz. And that happens when you reach nirvana or samsara.
No, samsara is the cycle. You
or the
try to
actual
transgress the samsara.
Oh, yeah. It's because of karma. It's because of bad choices. Yeah. Bad actions, bad thoughts. And
yes. I thought you are source, bro. What's that mean?
You're a source, bro. Hey, we learn together.
Gonna be some very disappointed people when they figure it out. I consider myself. Padma says I consider myself a UFO.
Unidentified flying object. Yeah, aren't we all?
Some
Yeah.
dude said. Menza says a good one. Here's a good one. Some dude said he was both William the Conqueror and Harold the Great. Both fought each other. 1066 Battle of Hastings.
If that's true, that's hilarious. And
Well,
karma.
that's the whole Lucifer Jesus thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Earlier, I made a comment on I don't know if you guys read that or not. Crystal MacArthur said, yeah, when I made that video about the iron in our blood is probably why we're held to this earth, and that's just an opinion. You know, I've done some dwelling on it, you know, thinking on it. I'm not going to call it meditation because I meditate as I'm driving. I don't ever listen to the radio, you know. But she said, "Well, is that why I always thought I could fly because I'm iron deficient?" And I came back at her and said, could that be why you're lightheaded? Or is that why lightheadedness comes up, you know, when you're diagnosed with low iron in your blood, you know?
Yeah. Well,
so that was a very good comical break in the whole
over here, yeah. But I guess some people don't have an iron-based blood.
Is it the iron in our blood what make it red?
I don't know what makes it red. Well, actually, yeah, I do. Because your blood is blue until it hits oxygen. Then it turns red. We're just all blue bloods.
Yeah, just like when water is exposed to oxygen, it turns red into rust, right?
Yeah.
I am mud. Oh, hey. Perfect, Panama, because what is the lotus flower born out of?
Mud.
The muck.
The muck and the mud.
Yes.
Muddy waters.
Yes. And could be copper, though it couldn't, Michelle says. Was looking at a report the other day with a blatant lie, water vanishing. Water isn't vanishing, it just moved. Yes. I agree. Has anybody seen the reports on? I think it's Dashore, I think, where they're out of water. There's no more water there, and there's like 3 million people in the city that don't have water.
Oh wow!
They have to stand in a line and get government issued. It's like Ringo, that animated movie Ringo, where the lizards, you know, in the town where I don't know why I reference all these. Well, because I have kids, of course, but. Yeah.
They show us and then they do it. Like they showed us about the Twin Towers falling in movies before it ever happened. So they just used Ringo that time. Yeah.
Michelle says, rust. Oh, shit. I didn't even think of that. So we're rusting. What makes rust? Oxygen and water on iron. Diamond in the rough, and that's the best thing ever. When I came to that epiphany, it's like, so we're compressed carbon. We can shine like the diamond in the sky, you know, twinkle, twinkle, you know. Yeah. And if you look at it, look at everything. I challenge every one of you today, after this podcast, or even now, whatever, you know. Look at everything you encounter for the next couple hours. From the eyes of the union, or look at it from a threefold aspect or perspective, like the cycle of life, or birth, life, and death. You know, the arch, the house of bread. Look at the clock that way and see what comes into your mind. Look at the TV that way. You know, the way the TV works, how it's a mirror. You know, record your TV recording you. And see what that does. I mean, put a magnet up to a closed circuit TV, see what that is. And then think of it in terms of the threefold nature of our life, birth, life, death cycle. And it's amazing how you can come to these just little, you think they're little epiphanies, but they grow. Do you guys experience that at all?
Yes.
Yeah, recently I've been doing that with everything. And
Uh,
dragons
it's-
have nitrogen-rich green blood. Yes. Too easily, one's reality is sculpted by others. I would agree with that, Zupet. Yes, I would agree with that. Right. Why are all the cars in New York rusted on the bottom? Because of the salt. So when air hits our blood because of the salt in our bodies. Hey, very good. Very good. There's another
yeah,
good explanation. But is that why the oceans are salt? Because it's a big, like Jerry Runk has brought this up to me, and I was like, wow, that makes sense. It's a big, huge battery, an alkaline battery, you know?
yeah,
So yeah.
yes.
Mary keeps sharing. I don't think she knows I'm live. Has
Mr.
anybody seen Mary
Manson,
Wins in the chat?
Mr. Manson says, if you could choose, would you come back in the past or the future? And my answer is neither. There's a third option.
Jerry, you gotta unmute yourself, brother.
Yep, you're all muted again. You must have touched it. There you go.
There you go.
Sorry, wifey got home.
Oh, you guys are talking about me behind my back, so you had to mute yourself.
Oh, shh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Don't believe that I believe that, please, because it's a lie.
no. Yes.
I'm kidding. So, what do you think about that, Jerry? What was just what she just said?
What'd she say?
Someone said, if you could choose to come back in the past or the present, which would you choose? And I said, neither. There's a third option.
Well, the Discover Go symbol looks like it's the 8 is the infinity that we can keep coming back and forth between, just like the movie Jumper.
Okay.
There really is black holes because you know
Yes.
they're inside you. You know where the baby comes from, the spirit born into that body.
Yes.
And
Yes.
our realization or our lotus flower grows through the different chakra centers of our body. It starts, you know, at the base and comes up, is seated in the solar plexus, comes up, is blossomed in our brain, and then poof, we're ejaculated into the cosmos. We become the cosmos, and bada bing, bada boom, here we are. Talking about it.
Yeah.
Is that what it's about? Knowing what it is, living life through your heart, and you know, just paying it forward.
Yeah. Yes.
Doing to others as you'd have done to you.
What'd that say today, Paula? It'll be gone. It'll be taken away. Suffering.
Yeah. All suffering, once you ascend or reach nirvana, all suffering ends.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And I cannot wait.
Amen.
Well, you know, it says in the Bible repeatedly not to get caught up in the fleshly desires, and
Yes.
it makes perfect sense because and when we say it makes perfect sense, we're talking directly to the sense. Every sense is a sense in essence.
Ha ha ha.
That's
And
C, right?
sense is also another word for change.
Yeah, through that one.
Yes.
I'll bank on it.
Yes.
Right.
It was all for purpose.
I have seen the promised land.
Yes, that was the other thing we read where that said about the promised land.
Yep.
Do you guys see my garage door here? You see that eye right there off in the corner?
See what?
The eye that I drew up there?
Yes.
I've been drawing that ever since I can remember, ever since I started doodling.
Uh-huh.
And I never knew why. But I have also been doodling since I can't, you know, since I can't remember how old I was. I was young, but I was drawing a heart with a cross in it. I tattooed a heart with a cross right here originally. It's a wolf, snarling wolf. So is that my consciousness saying, you know, here comes the big bad wolf.
Well, that's
Get
like me. Remember, I draw the star and then put hands and feet on the star and a head on it, and then put horns on it with wavy lines in between. Who
Yeah.
knew that was your real temples?
Ah, nice.
Well, that's why Moses came down. He had horns, or his face was like leather. Well, we
Yeah.
was talking about today. I think it says they'll, you know, it
The
might all
horns.
be summer all the time, perfect weather all the time.
Yes.
If the moon lit up like the sun, we'd never have darkness.
Right. Yes.
Heart is the center came in 8:30 says, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
To that, okay, now you guys remember when I was interviewing Phil and he said the center of all things?
Yes.
Did that grab anybody else like it grabbed me? Because it grabbed me and I had to back up the truck and ask him what that meant.
I saw it in a black hole / wormhole kind of way where we are in the center of this tunnel where we got the black hole at one end and the white hole at the other end, and we just have to decide which way we're going.
We
Yeah.
keep marching on. I
What do
think
you say to that, Jerry?
it's like the pyramid. Do you see the pyramid, or do you see the broad gate and the narrow gate? You know, and all the roads.
Yeah.
It all goes back to Rome, to the mainstream, because it's all been set up for us.
Right. Yeah, my interpretation of the center of all things is I once went to a Nibiru meeting, and it was when I believed, when I believed Nibiru was a planet coming to kill me, you know, and so we attempted a community get together at a Perkins. Oh, I went to it, and lo and behold, it was Cindy, which is 10,000 Lakes, BC. She organized it, and one other person, which was a guy that I met way back in the day when I was younger. But that's besides the point. But there was 3 of us sitting in the car, and I just discovered Danny Wilton's information about the black hole sun that's in the trapezium open star cluster, which is the center of the Fibonacci spiral Barnard's loop. That's Barnard's loop centers right there at the swords of all places, at the sword of Orion, which is words are swords, and the trapezium. You know, we could go into that in length.
That was on history, wasn't it? Same thing about
you see, now that wasn't on history before, dude, and that's the whole thing is that yeah, it's just weird, man. It's wicked weird that all of this stuff is coming out now, you know.
Yeah.
But the point is Cindy's turned to me and she said, whoa, I just had this freaky feeling in this instantaneous download or whatever you want to call it. I don't really like calling it download, but she got zapped with the truth or whatever. And she said, Steve, our hearts are the black hole. And then after she told me that, the next day I found out about the Anu, the ultimate Anu. And the Anu is shaped as a heart.
Epiphany, revelation, apocalypse. You can use those words instead.
Yes.
Who was that? Cupid, right? That came to shoot the arrow in the heart. Cupid.
There you go. That's a perfect segue to finish what I was going to say. The Anu, I think, is in everything that is organic, biological, alive, that has a heartbeat. You know, an EKG. You know, signature. Anything that has the energy of God in them or it has an Anu at its center, and ours is the heart, and it's all connected to the center. Like somebody just said, they claim that there is a black hole at the center of each galaxy. Mr. Menza said that. So that's the central sun, and that's base fact of alchemy is that there is a central sun. So we're all interconnected through the Anu. The Anu is the first, the one, the Sky Father. It's all of us. You know, everything that's in the physical form that is born of the light and dies of the light is of the Anu, and maybe that's why everything is an accretion disk, a belt, the Kuiper belt, the asteroid belt. Maybe that's why everything is a flat plane out there, because that is all we can perceive because we're on the inside looking out. What do you think of that?
Yes.
That symbol I always show you, or stand, you know, with It looks like the Fountain of Youth, but it's got the belt around it. That's why I always send that little picture.
I don't. It's been a while. I forgot the picture. Oh well.
Well, it's like the heart is on the end of
Hi,
that.
Robin.
The lion, Leo's.
The Lion King, yes.
Yeah.
And do you guys watch SGD, Sacred Geometry Decoded? That guy that I think Phil threw out the link to us. But I've been I subbed to him, and he found the center in the physical sense of the Giza Plateau itself, and it's odd that it's right above this, or right next to the Sphinx, or above the Sphinx. It's in the Sphinx temple building or whatever.
Yes.
And it's crazy how many correlations number wise. Or how about that number file thing that I posted? Did anybody else see that?
Number file. What I miss?
Yeah, I posted a link from Number File about the Chaos dice game. Thoth, what did you think of that? The Chaos dice game. Did you look into that?
We have to look that up.
Yeah, it's Number File. I put the link. It's in my library as a post. Because you can't mirror anything on YouTube anymore because you get a community guideline strike or whatever. Yeah, it's just weird how it's. Yeah, the guy rolls the dice and there's a certain formula to it, but it shows a bunch of fractals, pretty much fractal within a fractal within a fractal, exactly how our reality is. So I found that pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Yes, and you have to give Miles some credit. He has been pushing the chaos theory to me, and I first rejected it, but I've now come around to that. Everything is chaos until it's defined. Chaos is nothing more than undefined prime material.
Yes.
In my Bible, it said you can read it as dreadful place, or you can read it as awesome place. You can read it terrible
undefined
God,
potentiality,
or awesome God. I think it contradicts itself, but it's really telling you the truth of duality.
Well, you have to have
exactly what alchemy is about, right?
And you have to have the chaos, because how do you think planets were even made? If you go watch a nice, TV show on how planets are made, it starts out with a bunch of rocks slamming into each other.
Well, I ain't really seen no real pictures. That's always CGI.
Smart ass.
See no real pictures of what?
Like Saturn, or
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about the whole space is fake thing. I think it's if anything, it's all fake because it's in our heads. But I mean, is that fake? Is that really fake?
Right? Is it fake if it's in your head? Right.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny that all these big songs like that, she killed herself. Chris Cornell, Black Hole Sun, killed himself. Kurt Cobain with the what's the other one? Come As You Are, killed himself.
Or were suicided. Yeah.
Right. Suicided. There you go. There's a
Kurt
good
term. He called Nirvana. That was the name of his
Nirvana. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
really
Nirvana.
Think that man stooped that low and done that. He's sitting on a beach somewhere. The Earth's a big place.
Dumbledore's Crystal chimes in with.
Haha.
How can they be that in tune with the universe and then do that to themselves?
Menza, is that right? They were all 27 years old?
Oh, wow. See, suicided.
Wow. Does 27 correlate to lettering? I mean, is there a reverse gematria lookup? Can you enter a number and see what that number comes up? Yeah, you can. I did that before, right? Elvis is still alive, Gerald says.
Nope. He's dead by now.
Oh, 3 cubed is 27. Very good. Nice.
Okay.
27 equals 9, right?
Yep.
See,
Digital
angel
room.
number 27 and its meaning. You are more sensitive to the angel number 27 because there is a new spiritual awareness being awakened in you. So shame on them for being spiritually aware and awakened. This indicates that you are evolving on a whole new spiritual level and you are ready to
Well, nobody's saying there's anything wrong with suicide.
from a
Let's get
higher
that straight.
source.
I'm not saying
No,
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying
saying,
anything's wrong with
this
with
is why they were suicided, because they were 27 when they were killed.
Yeah, killed is what she meant by suicided. I think that's why I was just clarifying that.
Yeah. Oops. My husband's home. Let me mute myself real quick.
Oh God. Hey, shananananananananananan. I'm glad you're here, honey. Hi, how are you? Not if you can't die. Right.
Immortal.
9 is end of a cycle. 9 higher mind. 9 is the director of the whole thing. 9 is the dweller. Here, you know how thought says one must travel in circles and not in angles, right?
Right.
The angles is the square, the finite. The circles is the infinite, ineffable.
It bounces off the square.
We square the circle so we can give definition or meaning, reason to our existence through the finding of our true self, which is forever. What we're in the process of doing, trying to find our foreverness, and that's why I named the podcast today, foundation is our foundation of forever, or I can't remember what the blip of a day. That's why I named it that, was because I was a pun on finding forever in the snap of our human life. The 72. Oh wow, there's another one. The average life expectancy now for a human is 72 years.
It's also a biblical count to a holy day in the Bible.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's tabernacles.
Right.
Atonement.
Atonement.
Yes.
The angels are fallen angels of light. We are fallen angels of light. Yes, we are.
Yes.
And I've been shouting that on every comment section that has anything to do with the Anunnaki lately. And there's only been one response from one person that's outside of our little family here that has come back at me with, wow, that makes a lot of sense. But most people, they ignore that stuff. And I don't know why, or it's YouTube censoring and they're not even reading it.
Yeah. Well, if they don't understand yet, it's just because they haven't had that revelation or that epiphany yet.
1111 brings up another good point about the 72. It's 1 degree in a circle. It's also 1 degree in the great circle of the precession of the equinox, of the 25,920 year precessional wobble. So yeah.
Yeah.
Funny they called it an arc too.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Arc. Yeah. That is another perfect one. And now they're saying the arc might have been a circle, guys.
Well, yeah, it's the rainbow too. The rainbow is actually a circle around the sun. We only see half of it.
Talking about the ark, Noah's Ark. They're saying that, there's evidence that it was a round reed, whatever.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, I seen that. Yes.
And I said that was part of the circle. That's where our geometry came from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And once you got that one ring, you could, go equally around that ring every time.
Yeah.
And you put two circles, overlap them. You got the vesica, and then you got the eye, you got the vagina, you got the center of all things. You know?
If you look at what stellarium, that's how that thing works with the two balls.
Yes.
It really looks like you're inside that thing.
Oh yeah, remember the Epiphany? You know how? Okay, now I just watched a TED talk today, and it was about lasers and how lasers propagate and build up to send coherent light. You know, to amplify the light, and it's bouncing off a double mirror, and it excites the whatever the I don't want to call it a photon because I don't. That's kind of, but I guess you got to name it something. So it excites the photon so much, the particles, that it amplifies it, you know, to magnitudes higher and higher and higher. And but my point is that the right hand rule of electricity is due to the interaction of the electron and the ion. It's the right where the right hand rule comes from. Now we're at the right hand of God. Electricity is right hand rule. Huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
black means hot. That's what it reads in my book, but it works that way in electricity. The black be hot.
What?
The black wire is always the hot.
Oh yeah, right. So what do you mean by that, Jerry? What are you talking?
Black Lodge, White Lodge of the Masons.
Is that what you were referencing?
No, I don't know. I was just putting it out there to see what it do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wanted to see if anyone would catch it.
Right.
I said the words fastest.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Oh,
Okay. Right brain is the right side of the temple. Red, white is usually hot. Black, brown, usually ground. Not in household or AC current. In AC current, the black is always hot. White is neutral, and the green is the ground.
Or just a wire.
Or just a wire that nobody ever hooks up, right? But in DC, you are right, Miles. In DC, that is the case.
And that's how everything works anyhow. I mean, once it plugs in the back of your VCR or tuner or whatever, it breaks it down. It works all 12 volts.
Yeah, and then God said, "Let there be light."
That's awesome, dude. Hey, I appreciate what you do, Steve. That was pretty awesome. I like your background. I like your light theory.
Well, it's. I think it's just fitting. It was something that I came across, and you know, you don't see it with your naked eye, man. That's the weird thing that you look at a light bulb, and you don't see the cross. You know, I've seen the sun like that. Well, not the sun, but super bright lights every once in a while. If you got a pair of glasses on, you'll see a glare. But when you're looking at it through your lens of your eye, oh yeah, I got something else to add to that. You don't see it, but when you look at it through a camera, you see it. You know, look at. Can you see my camera through here? Let's try this again. I tried this once before, but it didn't really work. Let's see if we can get it. No, it's too bright, isn't it?
yes,
Yep.
it's too bright.
I can't see it when Paula talks.
But yeah, it's just crazy. But you know, the light, is it a perceptual thing, or is it there permanently?
Well, that what you were saying about the things pointing together, that why the light gets thing. Is that why cats can see at night? You know, is that how night vision actually works?
Yes.
It feels that pull.
Right. It sucks in more of the ambient light, and yeah. But if you ever look at your I don't know what the bigger circle around your pupil is called. Is it called retina? You look at the retina of your eyes, and you'll see a bunch of crosses. You know, hexagon. Yeah. And is that why the light actually flips in our mind? You know, I've thought about that too.
Well, the one I would want, like when you're getting ready to pass out and you see them little speckles.
Yes.
Them little things, like whatever. Y'all might explain it better.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen them fireflies in my mind when I Just smashed my truck. Yeah.
Oh, that's a Nickelback song too. Fireflies.
Really?
Yeah.
Iris is called. Retina is the inside, the screen. Okay, thank you, Menzo.
Yep, I used to be Rainbow Firefly and Rainbow White. Yep. Those were other channels I started out with a different name, trying them on for size. Yep. In case anyone was ever wondering.
And Thoth brings up a good one. Never notice how animals' eyes reflect a light right back at you
Yeah,
in the dark?
but
Yeah,
ours don't, right?
Ours do, but they glow red.
Oh, well, yeah, true.
that's why we have the tunnel vision. They have the good. That's stick a needle in my eye.
Yeah,
Mm.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
You got that. You got that, Jerry. Stick a needle in my eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Well,
just snap out of Steve, Jerry. Nice.
Super God King Fev says when the angels were made, they were made as adults and fully aware of themselves and their entry into the world. Well, we're made angels while we're adults, unless you're very ahead of the learning curve when you're a child. You know, and I've only come across one person right now, and probably even in this chat, that is younger than 40 years old. And I'm not kidding.
well, the angel ate the scroll. It was sweet like honey, but bitter in the belly. And
Right.
for that
Yeah.
to be true, that means we are the angels, or we're the one eating the knowledge.
Now,
I think we eat the scroll, and what's born in us is the lotus flower, or the new beginning, or the everlasting life of John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten. You know.
And lead
yeah,
us through the still waters, quiet waters.
yes. And quiet waters are muddy waters.
Hormones. What do you mean by that? Hormones.
But we all know what hormones means in every sense of the word.
Hormones. Yes, we know this, but what about
It's
hormones?
obvious, yes.
Yeah. They don't care crap about mental illness. They need this for demonizing people. It's all about destroying people who are smart and know too much. Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Oh,
But I like Totos. Knowledge is like bread. We become hungry for it. Yes, we do.
yes.
And yes, the whole. Now, what do you guys think about the? Do you think there is a collective effort against us to keep us down from knowing, or do you think it's a ignorance thing because humans are ignorant and they're stupid?
Yep.
Me included. You know, we do things like without even knowing what we're doing, and we repeat them over and over. So, is the veil a a a thing that is put in place deliberately by said entities or said people, or is it there by design, divine design? What do you guys think?
It's there by divine design because it is you that has placed that veil there, and then when you know that you are ready to remove the veil, you will.
All right.
That's my opinion. What you got, Jerry?
Yeah, what you got for that, Jerry?
Same thing. Yeah, I agree.
Is that where the whole pearls before swine thing comes in the Bible?
I think
You know,
we can't absorb it so much so fast without going, loco, becoming more chaotic.
If you tell somebody that something that they're not ready to hear yet, that is like, throwing your pearls before swine, but it's also like taking a child that doesn't know how to swim and throwing them in the deep end.
That's how I was taught.
Yes, exactly. Same here. That's why I used that analogy.
And isn't it amazing how it all becomes clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer, but it becomes so clear in your mind that you can't articulate it or explain it to anybody that isn't of that same knowing.
You get that
Sometimes it's
overwhelming, awesome feeling.
Yes. And you want to share it with everybody you love, but they can't get it.
Exactly. Because a lot of times it's not, you know, with cancer and everything going on in my life, you know what I mean? But I still stand here and fight for it.
Thought says I was chucked into the deep end.
That's why I was thrown out.
I was too. I was thrown out of a boat actually by my dad.
Yep, and told sink or swim.
Yeah.
That's what I was thrown out of a boat over by the dam. We had a dam behind the house.
So you not only had this sense of fear of drowning, you had this fear of falling while you were drowning. Nice.
Yeah.
You ever wake up in the middle of one of them dreams?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Honey, it's funny how that feels so real.
Right.
You just got to get down to go up.
Yeah, I think what if those dreams are past life memories of death? You know? Is that why they feel so surreal?
I was just recently having a revelation about that. I think you are spot on. I think that the nightmares that I have had to suffer my entire life, and even to this day, I have come to the conclusion that at least the ones that are repetitive and reoccurring are past lives.
Explain why some people are afraid of water, some people are afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights. The rest of my family, every one of them is scared to death of water.
I'm afraid of heights, but I want to fly.
Me too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to fly.
I believe I can fly. Yeah.
Why an appendix?
There we go. There's another topic. You know, Jerry, you had your appendix removed, right?
Yep,
I have mine.
I had mine removed at the age of 13, nonetheless.
Wow, yours was
about what I was.
And his was right, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Jerry's was around the same age.
Yep.
And I'm the only one in this group of three that still has theirs.
Deborah says she was thrown off of a cliff and drowned in another life.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Why would you want to fly when we can create?
But see, if she could fly, she wouldn't drown. Yes.
Pete Turtle said that. It wasn't the same person. Remember once getting shot in the head when fading to black, then forcing myself to get up, chase after the guy who shot me, take his gun to kill him first. Oh God. I think Miles is writing a script in his mind as he's talking.
Yes.
Him and Mother Earth.
And laid down to blackness with a smile. He's always got to come back with the ending. That's spot on, brother. Yeah. I think we breathe in the water too. You know, I once almost died of hypothermia or falling in super cold water, and your mind convinces you that everything is fine, just go to sleep. And
yes,
the weirdest feeling ever.
Wow.
Yes, but that's exactly, you know, how was I to say, another one of those things that's hard to put into words.
Padma says, how did we survive in the womb, yo?
In the water.
Because it wasn't cold in there.
You know, that's another thing. They did a study that water births, the children are like 30% more advanced than their siblings and other kids in their environment, as they're farther ahead the learning curve. They pick up things, they're happier, they don't get depressed. So what if it's about pressure when you're you know, what is it like, you know, because it's warm in there like you said. But I mean, if you come out in the pressure mediation is different, you know, on a scalar field type way of looking at it, it'd be the same as the cosmos. You know, if you know, what happens when a comet comes into our atmosphere? It blows up. So on a micro scale, when you're born, what if the shock of just boom being squirted out of that,
under pressure, exactly. Like I was in the car going down the road, and for the first time ever the other day, because the windows were down, I felt like I was in a plane that was ascending up into the sky. And my mother-in-law rolled up the windows in the car and it stopped. Now, if that was happening to a almost 51-year-old woman in a car, how does a baby feel?
Right, right. And you wonder why we're crying when we come out of there.
Yeah, put me back in. Put me back in.
Or one could surmise that you go to that light as a light being, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna reincarnate. I wonder where this tunnel is gonna end, and all of a sudden, boom! You just wake up and you're.
My friend is here to bring me some bologna. I'm gonna mute myself. Continue talking.
I was actually I'm being hailed by the night of the round table here at my house, and I have to get food, so I'm gonna have to duck out. If you guys want to continue this, you're more than welcome, but I'm gonna have to go because I have to cook some supper.
No, I also have to go eat, so we could just end it there. I think that's a good place to end it, actually.
Yeah, we did. I had a good time here, guys. I mean,
always.
It's with these talks, we get closer and closer to understanding, whether that understanding is all the same, doesn't matter as long as we're discussing it. So I appreciate everybody's perspective, and thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And Michelle says, before we go, it makes you really question C-sections, and there are thoughts on that. I do agree.
Oh, that's a good one. Forcing the door open. Yeah.
Right. Cutting your way, ripping the veil.
Mm-hmm. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and go. I love you all, and we definitely got to do this again soon.
Definitely. Thank you, Paula. Hey, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. You weren't very talkative today, but that's probably because you were in the house of Babel with me and Paula. But
yeah.
No, he said, I think he said what he needed to say, all the important stuff.
Man, words, but man, that's deep in wisdom, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes, so much.
Thank you, Paul from Newcastle. Thank you, Free Press 666, Miles, Mary, P Turtle, 1111 Code, Crystal, Super God King, Deborah. Thank you, Mary Wins, Gerald M, Cayman 830. Thank you guys all for joining us. And I had this was a good conversation. And like I said, I appreciate every one of you in my reality and on my journey. May the force be with you. Love, peace, chicken grease. Be kind to the next. You never know when you'll need kindness in return. Thank you.